One, two, three.
We were going to work together. We didn't know what the project would be. Whether it was some unpolished gems that Lou had, or some new things that he had written, or something we were going to write together. So there was lots of thoughts flying around, and when he came to us with the idea of Lulu and the set of lyrics and the soundscape, and we were able to listen to that, it made complete sense. And as a writer myself, I was able to kind of, it was already kind of a body of work, and we got to pick up our guitars and add the Metallica bits to it.
Playing with my metal brothers here, whom I love dearly, was very inspirational, and of course everything would go well past where the originals were into this other planetary system, because everything's done live. So everything's done live, so there's no going back, and you can't fix anything.
Two-thirds of the record was done the first 4 days. Lou and Hal showed up on a Monday, and they were just going to check out the studio and see what the vibe was and figure out how we would set the whole thing up. Within 1 hour, we were out on the floor playing in a circle, and by Thursday afternoon, we'd done two-thirds of the record. We had no idea what hit us.
David Turner.
David Turner, like you were saying, is kind of his whole vision that came together. We played him the record. Lou told him a little bit about the bigger picture, and then it sort of went from there.
I was thinking about this project and thinking about the character, because there's a female character this whole thing's based on. And I literally came out of the restroom in my design studio, and there was a magazine pinned to the wall, and there was a photograph of that mannequin. And she looked me right in the eye, and I went, "Oh my God, that's Lulu."
The inspiration for the artwork is sitting out there in front from the museum in Germany. There was a mannequin that David Turner showed all of us, and all of us said, "Oh my God, it's Lulu." And then it went from there. Lulu's a little longer than most normal people, so it had to be a model. There's no bottom half to Lulu, so then we had to find somebody the size and measurements of Lulu. We couldn't have a short, squat Lulu.
There are some fairly graphic elements to the artwork that we're hoping people are with us on this ride, and we don't feel that there's any of the visuals that are going too far, but sometimes you gotta take it out of the subways.
There are some images that are explicit sexually that are too explicit for mainstream packaging. And so when we heard that it had been banned, we thought, well, maybe those images had been used, but it wasn't about that. It was nothing to do with being sexually explicit. What it was that the main lettering for the name Lulu, as you see on the images in there, is written in blood across the image. And it literally is blood, by the way. We actually, I was arm deep in blood making this thing. Not human blood, fortunately. The London Underground, we felt that the way that this thing was scrawled across the image looked like graffiti, and so would encourage people to make graffiti on the Underground. That's what it was.
I didn't know that.
And actually Lou called me up and said, "What do you think of this?" And I said, "I think it's ridiculous, because it's clearly not graffiti and it's art, but I think actually it's great that you got banned on the London Underground."
It was accused of being like graffiti that bands have, but that's obviously nonsense.
It was accused of being too visually appealing. That was the problem.
Of the voices.
Part of the role of the visuals here is to sort of identify this whole thing as what it is. It's not the next Metallica album, it's a new thing. It's this collaboration between these great iconic artists. And it is art, and they've done it purely for the love of it. It really is what art should be. It's for for its own expression. It's not for anything else. If people love it, that's great. If people love the images, that's great. But if they didn't, we love making them.
We could probably never play the record again. We can play a version of it, however it's going to be next. And that's an interesting concept for us, you know. Rehearsing, we were, you know, starting rehearsing, and what, you know, what's next in the song? I don't know. You can't. It's not in the lyric thing. It's not written down. There's a missing element, of course, and it just happens. So it'll be perfect.
There were these great moments where, for whatever reason, all of a sudden it was just two people playing. It just happened. No cue, no nothing. It just went that way. So we all made a heavy left. I don't know if that'll ever happen again. I don't know how it happened. I mean, I do know how it happened, but I can't. I'm not one for trying to mimic something I did at X hour. I'm not smart enough.
This was created because a bunch of people wanted to make something they thought was great, and it wasn't created for any other purpose. And that's what art should be about. It's, you know, it's your individual, personal creativity just coming out.
It was kind of new territory for us as well, and maybe even for Lou. It was new territory. It was uncharted territory, and Lou taught us a lot in terms of being creative. He opened our minds to a lot of things, and it was a great
Well, it was a two-way
experience.
street. You know, it's like I got to ride the Metallica spaceship.